Hey YouTube, it's Landon with Order the Traveling Hats again, and today we're going to do something with care and maintenance of the Jeep. We're going to wash it. And I'm going to show you guys how I wash a Jeep. I use a 3-bucket method. I'll show you that in a minute. It's a method that I learned just a few years ago, actually. I'm sure a lot of people out there are familiar with it. I didn't learn it until I got kind of a sports car and got around kind of the sports car community a little bit more, in the car community less than the Jeep community. And it's very common kind of in that community to wash your vehicle using the 3-bucket method. I was always more of the pressure wash, get the mud off, wash with soap and water, rinse, and be done. Turns out there's some problems with that, and you can kind of mess up your paint over time and get swirls and scratches and things like that. And in vehicles today, costing so much, and we're all driving them a lot longer, it makes a lot of sense, I think, to try to take care of your vehicle and take care of the paint and maintain it. So this 3-bucket method kind of helps you do that. So let's get started. Alright guys, so how I clean wheels, we use a separate bucket. Like we use the 3-bucket method. We have a wheel barrel cleaning brush that's going to fit in the barrel, and then we've just got a flat brush that we clean the surface of the wheel with, and we've got some Diablo wheel cleaner from Chemical Guys, and I already foam brushed this, or foam cannoned it rather, so it's already kind of good to go there. We're just going to get this going and spray it. And get a good coat of this stuff on there. And just let this stuff soak for a minute. And kind of get a little bit in the barrel of the wheel as well, on the brakes, some that are exposed, obviously. You can go to the nth degree with this and kind of take the wheel off and clean it, and that's probably the best way, but that's a lot of work, and it's a Jeep and I'm not that worried about it. But when I had sports cars in the past, that's something that I'd do occasionally, because the wheels are much deeper, you can see a little bit more of them, the brakes are more exposed, so it's helpful to do that. But on the Jeep, not too worried about that, but do want to get the brake grime and stuff out of the wheel barrel as much as I can. So that's soaked about enough. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to move the camera. Is just take our surface brush here and kind of go over the wheel with the surface brush, good, and get all the surfaces and just clean those really well. Clean the wheel and the tire, go around the tire bolt, and then take your wheel brush, get some water on its sides, and you just kind of stick it in the barrel between the brake and the barrel of the wheel, and you just kind of work around through each spoke and around each spoke, and this just kind of helps you get all the grime and stuff off the spokes as well as the barrel of the wheel. And you just kind of work it through. It's kind of hard to get through where the caliper is, but you can with a little bit of effort, and just kind of keep working this around and get the entire wheel kind of clean. So we're back where we started now. So you want to make sure and kind of rinse your brush off in the water good. And this is just soapy water. It's just got some soap in it. We use a Griot's garage soap on everything at the house. I've used that for a long time. Really like it. It's a good soap, and it's wax compatible. You don't have to worry about it stripping your wax off like Dawn or something. So once all that's done, we're going to get the pressure washer, rinse that off, and then we're going to do it 3 more times on the other wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get back on camera. All right, guys, so in the 3-bucket cleaning method that we're using here, we got 3 separate buckets, 2 of which are on this side of the Jeep right now. We're getting ready to wash the hood. So I'm gonna show you those 2 real quick. We've got 1 bucket here on the right-hand side. That's our soap bucket. It's just soapy water that we fill and get some suds, some good suds. And then the other one is our rinse bucket. And if we look real close in there, I think you can kind of see that there's a grate at the bottom, and that's just to strain any particulate matter, anything that comes off of our little wash mitt, to get it so it doesn't scratch the paint and damage the paint. So we go from the soapy to the Jeep and then to the rinse, and we just do that over and over again and wash in sections and kind of wash everything off. And the idea is that we're removing dirt into the wash mitt and then rinsing it and getting it clean again before we get more soapy clean water on there and put it back on the vehicle. So that's the cycle, and that way it prevents us from getting any particulate stuff in our washcloth that's going to damage the paint or scratch it in any way. So we're going to go ahead and get that going now. It's going to take a minute, and I'll get back with you guys when we're done with that. Alright guys, so Jeep is washed. We dried it, we foam cannoned it, we hand washed it all. A lot of nooks and crannies on the Jeep that do kind of get in the way. There's a whole lot of plastic on it too that you got to pay special attention to try to get the dirt and the grime off of. In addition to that, on the front of mine, that ARB bumper is kind of hard to get in all the nooks and crannies on. It is a little bit difficult, but you can do it if you take your time and pay attention, and you end up with a pretty good product. So we've got a great clean Jeep now. It looks really good, and the inside's already been pretty clean. I cleaned it out like last weekend. It was raining, so I could do that inside, so we aren't going to do that today. But overall, it's pretty cool. The only thing that is a pain in the butt about this Jeep is it's black and it shows dirt incredibly badly. I have had other Jeeps. My last one was a red one, and I've had a black one. For some reason, I just keep going back to black, and then I complain about it the whole time, that it's so hard to clean and so hard to like take care of the paint. It shows every little scratch, ding, whatever. So this still isn't perfect. There's still a couple spots I'm gonna have to touch up, but overall, pretty happy with the process. This is a process I always use ever since I had a sports car. I learned this in the sports car community. No one in the Jeep community has ever told me to use 3 buckets. They just kind of spray it off, get some soap and water and hand wash it, and then spray it off again. This is a lot more elaborate, but the idea is it'll protect your paint for longer. You won't get those fine scratches in it, and then you can apply a coat of wax and keep it looking really good for a long time. These things cost so much nowadays that you really do want to take good care of them, so this is just one way that you can do that. Speaking of which, if you guys have other colors, please comment in the comments below about how hard you think it is to keep the paint clean and looking good. Especially other trim levels. I know there's some trouble spots for people with these Rubicon fenders versus the Overland and Sport fenders. They're just a little bit harder to clean, and they can get some debris in them. So if you guys have any tricks for that, please put that in the comments as well. Like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing slowly, but we're still trying to grow. And I hope you guys like this and got something out of it and maybe learned a new way to wash your Jeep. So I'm Landon. This is Order the Traveling Hats, and we hope to see you out there.